If you're using the law of attraction to deliberately create something in your life and you're not seeing your manifestation in physical form just yet, it's most likely due to an internal program that's blocking you from consciously creating what you want. Blockages are created from fear and limiting beliefs. And we can compare this to a clog in a sink. If you had a clog in a sink, it would stop the flow of water from moving freely through the pipes. And logically, the only way to continue that flow of water in the most favorable way is by clearing the clog that's in place. And this works the same way with our energy. Any limiting beliefs and fear are clogs that block the energetic and creative flow that are available to manifest what's desired. In other words, these limiting beliefs and fears hold a person away from the outcome they would like to achieve. To clear manifestation blocks, we need to do a little investigating to identify what they are so they can be released. This creates the space to be able to form new beliefs and new energy in their place that are in alignment with what is wanted. I've talked about this process before, but there's so much value in it, it warrants repeating. So here's an easy and effective way to identify these types of blockages. Write down the following 2 statements and fill in the blanks. If I don't manifest my desire of, I am afraid that, and fill in the answers that apply there. And once you've done that, your next statement is, if I do manifest my desire of, I'm afraid that, and once again, fill in all of the answers that apply. Once you've done this, take a look at your 2 lists. If your intention is to manifest, let's say, a relationship, you might have used something like, if I don't manifest my desire of a relationship, I'm afraid that I'll be alone forever, for the first response. For the second, you might have listed something similar to, if I do manifest my desire of a relationship, I'm afraid that I will be disappointed or abandoned. Be as honest as you can with yourself when filling in the blanks to these 2 statements, because the answers you give are collectively and metaphorically the clog in the sink that blocks you from becoming the type of person that naturally attracts what's desired into their life. These answers also point clearly to what you are currently manifesting for yourself. In other words, your current manifestation of the absence of this thing is a reflection of the answers that you've given. The example I've given is regarding relationships, but you can use these statements for any blockage that you think you have regarding something you want to manifest. And when going through this step, you identify the beliefs that must be consciously altered to remove that blockage. In looking at your answers, you may be able to easily see that your responses are beliefs that have been formed and built upon from past experience. Note that this is from the past and not who you currently choose to be. You can now choose to see and believe that this past experience is no longer an acceptable part of your current reality. It's only a memory of what's considered to be a past experience. However, unless the reason you give for continuing to maintain a limited belief is altered, it will continue to be a belief. In other words, the apparent cause of limitation, or the blockage, is within the belief that has been formed. To remove this, you rigidly decide that you will no longer allow the past to reinforce any limitations that were once formed. And you can do this by telling yourself that although you may have had this belief in the past, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. In fact, the memory of something that once happened is no longer true in this moment unless you choose to re-experience it in this moment now. It's merely a representation that you made from an earlier version of you. It's also important to note that an earlier version of you is not who you are now. You are not at the mercy of events that you once experienced. You simply have to determine what types of limited interpretations were made at a time when you were maybe a little less knowledgeable than you are now. Your point of power is in the present moment, and you can begin to instantly change the old beliefs into new beliefs that support what you want. So how do you do this? You rewrite your past from the present moment. If you were to experience now all that you choose to experience in your life, you can repattern and restructure the story that you tell about yourself to fit that version of you that now has what you want. Your current moment is the only moment there is, and that is the moment to change anything you don't like. You only have to learn to examine the nature of your beliefs because those beliefs automatically cause you to think, feel, and behave in a certain way. So try the following process to begin establishing new beliefs for the things that you want to manifest in your life. You can use this practice several times per day to do so. Close your eyes for about 5 minutes. During this 5 minutes, use your mind to focus all of your emotional and spiritual energy towards what you want. To discover what this energy is, ask yourself, why is it that I want this thing in the first place? What is it that it will bring into my life, and how will I feel because of that? And then imagine this energy moving from you and flowing into this thing you are creating. Visualize your desire intently and vividly while continuing to focus all of your energy into it. You may even choose to add a color to this positive energy emitting from you and penetrating this desire to increase the effectiveness. After you've done this for a few minutes, just move on with your day. And then throughout your daily routine, make one physical gesture or action that is in alignment with this desire. This is a crucial step, so don't skip it. For instance, if you were choosing abundance as your new reality, you must make some move that shows you are willing to accept abundance and accept change in your life. For example, act as if you have more money than you physically have by window shopping for things you wouldn't normally window shop for. Or give a few dollars to someone who needs it. Or buy the more expensive ice cream that's 50 cents more than what you would normally spend. If it's a relationship you seek, try something small like clearing out a small dresser drawer for your new partner. Or visit places that you imagine you and your perfect partner would enjoy visiting together. Or you could even start telling people that you're open and ready to have a relationship in your life. Most importantly, keep your actions simple so your mind doesn't reject it. When you respond to this new belief that you are forming in this way, the new message is given out energetically that you truly feel that you are worthy and in alignment with this thing more than you were even yesterday. This stops the reinforcement of the old belief and begins to construct a new one. Practice this exercise daily and move up incrementally with your action portion of the process. Again, keep it simple so that you don't cause any resistance or add energy to the old belief so it continues to fall away. And if you do this daily, the new belief will begin to form in its place. When we stop reinforcing negative experiences, we can instantly begin to form a new reality of our choosing. Just by identifying these old blockages, you begin to dismantle the power that they once had. Sometimes these old experiences are just under the surface and need to be identified so this can happen. You are not at the mercy of your past conditioning. You are a creator intended to create new events and new experiences in each new present moment, and you 100% hold the power to do so.